I think what has most impact in me is specific moments where I think there is like a little explosion that changes everything. So I think in that I can kind of recognize an energy I can use somehow. And there's been moments like when the electronic music started for me, playing Cologne in the 90s, and then again at the end of the 2009, 2010, when we started to do very different sounds with all the Comeme label and things, and also the social uprising in Chile 2019. So I think it's these moments that I'm looking for to have this impact, that I think I can express myself and use also these new freedoms.
I think when I arrived in Berlin, like this city has a lot of like to offer in terms of like deep connection and artists. And I think when I played the first time at Bergen was like one of my dreams to play there, and I felt like wow, like it's happening, and I'm doing this, like it's happening for a reason, and I was really happy, when that happened to me.
Wow. Well, I think when we first started out, we had a small crowd, and later in life, maybe a couple of years later, people really started to come to our shows, and then we got our first international bookings in Europe. I think that was the first time that I really felt like something was happening.
Yeah, exactly. I think when we got our first gig abroad, that was one of the turning points, but also the moment that we released our first vinyl.
Yeah. Also, yeah.
Well, okay, so the question is like, at what point have I felt like I was an artist? Because it's like a part of who I am, and it's a part of like my family and everything. It's like in my blood, so I kind of like feel like I was just born with it, and it's a blessing and a curse. It's like I always feel like I'm just beginning, and I have so much to give and so much that I want to do and say and see and like perform. So like, yeah, I think Bergheim is definitely a highlight for me. And also playing at Heart of Noise Festival and Love Festival, like those two were just like the sound, the crowd, the energy, like it was like quite like a spiritual experience.
I think that this album, Fala, the second album of Teto Preto, that was released on October of last year, was our turning point, because it was the moment that we had to create a big narrative, and we had the opportunity to reach this underground album, like representing what we live in Mamba Negra, in other parties, and in this independent queer scenario in São Paulo that we built like for much more than 10 years. And we all here, we have like different backgrounds, and it was the opportunity for us to create this espetáculo in so many ways, like in all the languages that we have, to compose what we call the Teto Preto experience.
I remember myself from really young period of my life, like from childhood. I started to play piano since I was 6 years old, and I graduated the 7th grade after I started to play like a lot of the instruments. And after I became the DJ, and it wasn't enough for me, to be honest. Like after many years of the touring, I can say, and after many years of the production, when I just did the progress in my music, I think that was the moment when I really felt myself like an artist, and when I felt my value in music or something. And I'm still trying to create a lot of the new stuff and to be the artist at all, because I think the artist is in this way for me just more creating of the music when performing, to be honest.